I've got an idea about why it has been hard for you to make some changes or why you have not achieved your best self. And I'm going to suggest that it's because there are parts of you that have not been brought into alignment. Now, what I mean is, and just hear me out, have you ever noticed that there are moments when your life just flows? Your decisions feel clear, your body feels lighter, your emotions feel steady, and you feel connected to something deeper. And then, somehow, you lose it. Now, that state of when you feel clear, lighter, steady, deeper, it's called alignment. And today we're going to discuss why alignment is really the goal of holistic therapy. The goal of holistic therapy and counseling is to become in a more aligned state. We're going to talk about what that means and what it means to get there. So, welcome back to the Holistic Therapy Revolution, where we are not only exploring what it really means to heal and to thrive by engaging in the whole human experience, but we're also learning how to align mind, body, and soul when talk therapy is not enough. So whether you're a therapist, you're a seeker, you're a healer, or you're somebody that's just devoted to self-growth, you belong here. And in our last episode, we explored why insight alone is not enough for lasting transformation. And today we're going to take the next step together and explore what healing and thriving is actually moving us towards. And the answer is alignment. So, holistic therapy is not just about reducing symptoms. It's not just about understanding your past. It's not just about learning coping skills. It is all of those things, but it is more than that. Holistic therapy is about helping a person come into greater harmony within themselves. Because when your inner world is fragmented, part of you is pushing forward, part of you is afraid, part of you is exhausted, part of you is disconnected. Life begins to feel harder than it needs to be, or perhaps it has always felt harder than it needed to be. But when your inner layers begin cooperating instead of competing, you experience a very different way of being. You feel clearer, more empowered, more alive. And this is alignment. In my advanced holistic counseling and coaching model, that's the model that I created that teaches therapists and healers and doctors and lay people how to actually align all of the layers of their being. I define alignment as a state in which the layers of your being are operating in harmony. And they're allowing you to live from your highest self and your most resource self. I'll say it again. It's a state in which the layers of your being are operating in harmony, which allows you to live from your highest self and your most resourced self. Now, another way to understand alignment is through the idea of personal frequency, what many people are going to refer to you as your vibe. Common language works for everybody. Now, measuring human vibration is not a scientific process in the traditional sense, but most of us do not need a device or some way of empirically measuring it to recognize it, right? You can feel a vibe when you walk into a room. You could sense it in another person. You can absolutely experience it within yourself. Your thoughts, your emotional state, your physical vitality, they are all participating in shaping this internal frequency that you have called your vibe. Now, one of the simplest ways to recognize whether you are in a state of alignment is actually by noticing your emotional state, because your emotional state is a compass. How you're feeling emotionally is a compass. It's letting you know if you're in alignment or out of alignment. It's pretty neat. Now, when we're noticing our emotions, we're not meant to judge them. We're not meant to pathologize them. We should just notice them. Notice our emotions, because from a holistic perspective, there are no bad emotions. Instead, emotions can be understood as either more aligned or less aligned, in alignment, out of alignment. Now, states like gratitude, hopefulness, love, inspiration, contentment, they tend to reflect a greater internal harmony, a better vibe, better alignment. And emotions such as shame, chronic anxiety, jealousy, resent, despair often signal that some layer of our being is asking for our attention. Not because something's wrong with you, but because something within you is ready to realign. It needs your attention. Now, here's why alignment matters. When we move into higher states of alignment, when we're in more inner harmony of all of our layers of our being, something really remarkable happens. Our thinking becomes more flexible and creative. Our bodies feel more energized and vibrant. Our emotions become easier to process, less charge, less connection to things that don't serve us. We make clearer decisions. Our relationships feel more harmonious and symbiotic. And many people describe feeling more connected, more intuitive, even guided at times. Now, alignment doesn't just help us to feel better. It transforms how we show up in life. And as a result, it transforms what we create in our lives. So alignment starts to sound like kind of everything, doesn't it? Now, holistic therapy aims to align 5 essential layers of the human experience. The mind, the mental layer, is one of those layers that we're wanting to align harmoniously. The mind is where our insights live, where information is housed. The mind is where we have interpretations about things. It's also the workshop of our imagination. And in our mind, insight is very powerful, but insight alone rarely transforms our life or fully aligns us. Now, there's also the body or the physical layer. Your body holds your experiences. And when your body feels safe and regulated, change becomes sustainable, and your body is working in tandem with the rest of you to create the life that you want to experience. Now, your emotions, your emotional layer, is a big part of what's happening and what also requires alignment. Our emotions are not obstacles. Our emotions are intelligent messengers that are guiding us towards integration. Because when our emotions indicate to us that we don't feel good, that we feel funky, it is an indication that we're out of alignment in some way, and we are going to want to pay attention to that. There's also our energetic layer. This is a subtle layer. It's a part of us that impacts our environment and also how our environments impact us. It's an exchange between our energy and the energy of the world that we live in. And most people feel this without even having language for it. But we're going to be talking about it a lot here in the Holistic Therapy Revolution, because aligning your energy has so much to do with how you experience your life. And then there's the soul layer. This is your deepest layer. It is connected to your purpose, to your meaning, something larger than your conditioning. Maybe it feels like oneness or service. Maybe it feels like being tuned in or linked in or being more intuitive. But the soul layer, that can mean so many different things to different people, is such an important part of the layers of our being that we want to align together. And when all 5 of these layers are cooperating, people aren't just coping. They are expanding. They are expanding. And I know you felt that. You felt that at times in your life, and you probably just want more of it, just like the rest of us. So traditional therapy is incredibly valuable. I will say that once, I'll say that 1,000 times. I believe in traditional therapy. I think traditional therapy is extraordinarily valuable. Insight does change lives. But when therapy only focuses on cognition, the mind ends up trying to carry the weight of the whole transformation, and it just can't do it. I mean, ironically, the mind is sometimes what has created the problem. It's interpreted life in a way that is not working for us. And we're also hoping that the mind is going to be the place that solves the problem. Well, that doesn't always make sense. If the mind created the problem, maybe it can't solve the problem. So when we just focus on cognition, where we're trying to just gain insight, meanwhile, our bodies might still be bracing and be in a stressful state. Our emotions might be our energy may still feel contracted. Our soul may feel kind of unheard and unattended to. So alignment is inviting all of these layers into the healing process. Not instead of traditional therapy, but beyond traditional therapy, in addition, in tandem with expanding traditional therapy. Now, I get asked all the time, especially with the therapists and healers and doctors that I train, can we stay aligned all the time? People want to know. And I wish I could tell you yes. But learning to move in and out of alignment is actually just a part of the human experience. So no, it's unlikely that you're going to be aligned all the time. However, because we're not here to achieve perfection, and I don't think it is possible for us to, or at least I haven't seen that yet. But it's about experiencing more and more alignment. It's about touching into it. It's about creating it. It's about feeling it, and then being able to experience the profound upside of being in alignment and wanting it more. And that will encourage us to then take the necessary steps to align each layer. We are here to become more aligned more often. So instead of asking yourself like, why am I not aligned? Or why am I not aligned? Try asking, what would help me become more aligned right now? Because if we ask, what would help me become more aligned right now, we're living in a solution, and we're asking ourselves this question as if it's a welcome mat. Instead of it being a judgment about what's wrong with us, this is an invitation. It's an invitation to cross through the threshold of saying, oh, I don't feel that aligned right now, but I want to be aligned. So what do I need to do in order to be able to get there? Equally important, we want to approach being out of alignment without judgment. Because we are not here to be perfect. We are here to discover our true selves, our best selves. And in order to do that, we need to keep experimenting with how to get into more alignment more frequently. So here's the goalpost. Let me tell you what alignment feels like, although you already know because you've already been there. You just want to be there more often. When you're aligned, you are more open than defended and closed. You're more expansive than restricted. You're more allowing than forcing. You're more growth-oriented than fear-driven. When you're aligned, your mind is clearer. Your body feels alive, easygoing, vibrant. Your emotions feel more fluid, peaceful, loving, excited. Your energy becomes more perceptive, intuitive, tuned in. And your soul feels connected, at one, understanding, feeling meaning or purpose. And from this place, you naturally make choices that are going to reflect your highest self. So when you're in a state of greater alignment, you make more behavioral choices that reflect that alignment. Naturally, organically, more easily you make those choices. Not through strain, but through congruence and harmony. So today, I want to leave you with a simple reflection, an invitation of how you can start putting this into practice. Ask yourself this question, or if you work with clients, ask them. Where in your life do you already feel aligned? Where in your life do you already feel aligned? Because that gives you a clue. Look to an area of your life where you feel that sense of wisdom, connected, groundedness, curiosity, openness, expansiveness, intuitiveness. Where do you feel that way in your life? And when you find one area, and it may only be one tiny little area, see what's working there. Why is that working? Why are you aligned there? Because whatever you're doing in that one little area, we can take and bring over to another area of your life and see if you might align another part that really needs to feel more in alignment for you to feel better and for you to achieve those goals that you have. And also, whenever you feel out of alignment, ask yourself, what part of me is asking for me to take care of it? What part of me is giving me an invitation to make a shift? What part of me wants to come into more alignment? And see how you can answer the call. And by the way, that's what we're going to be doing in this podcast all the time, is giving you the practical skills and tools to align mind, body, and soul when talk therapy is not enough. So remember, alignment is not a destination. This is a living practice. It's one to return to again and again and again. That pays off because more alignment always feels better. And more alignment always moves us in the direction of what will serve us best. So I'd like to take a moment to thank you for being here. I'd like to thank you for being willing, curious. I really appreciate that. And for being a part of this revolution in how we understand healing and thriving and human potential. And if something in you is already sensing the power of alignment, then you are exactly where you need to be. And thank you for being a part of the holistic therapy revolution.